Toss-up 1. Math. Short answer. Let y equals e to the power of x squared. Find dy over dx. Answer: 2x times e to the power of x squared. Bonus 1. Math. Short answer. How many distinct permutations can be made from the letters in the word infinity? Answer: 3,360. Toss-up 2. Chemistry. Multiple choice. What is the local Vesper geometry of a fully substituted carbonyl carbon? W. Tetrahedral, X. Trigonal pyramidal. Y. Trigonal planar. Z. T-shaped. Answer: Y. Trigonal planar. Bonus 2. Chemistry. Multiple choice. Which of the following analytical tools can provide information about the crystalline structure of unknown materials? W. X-ray diffraction, X. X-ray photoelectron spectroscopy. Y. High-pressure liquid chromatography. Z. Dynamic light scattering. Answer: W. X-ray diffraction. Toss-up 3. Physics. Short answer. A ball is dropped from rest at a height of 60 meters above the ground. If the potential energy is 0 at the ground, then at what height in meters is the potential energy 60% of its initial potential energy? Answer: 36. Bonus 3. Physics. Short answer. What is the minimum current in amperes a circuit breaker fuse must be able to handle in order to run a 1450-watt refrigerator hooked up to a 110-volt kitchen circuit, assuming fuses are only available in whole number increments? Answer: 14. Toss-up 4. Earth and space multiple choice. During an El Niño event, the thermocline in the eastern equatorial Pacific is which of the following, compared to normal? W. Thicker, X. Thinner. Y. The same. Z. Either thicker or thinner depending on the salinity. Answer: W. Thicker. Bonus 4. Earth and space multiple choice. Which of the following scenarios made navigation difficult for early sailors and, according to legend, caused them to sacrifice their horses? W. Sailing from east to west between a subtropical high and subpolar low, X. Sailing adjacent to the intertropical convergence zone. Y. Sailing through the middle of a subtropical high. Z. Sailing from west to east at 23.5 degree latitude. Answer: Why? Sailing through the middle of a subtropical high. Toss-up 5. Biology. Short answer. What wasteful process occurs when rubisco acts as an oxygenase instead of a carboxylase during the Calvin cycle, decreasing the efficiency of photosynthesis and producing carbon dioxide? Answer. Photorespiration. Bonus 5. Biology. Multiple choice. In contrast to the lysogenic cycle of a bacteriophage, the lytic cycle does which of the following? W. Integrates phage DNA into the host chromosome, X. Involves the dissolution of host cells to release new phages. Y. Features prophages that can be excised from the host chromosome. Z. Copies phage DNA when the cell divides. Answer, X. Involves the dissolution of host cells to release new phages. Toss-up 6. Energy multiple choice. The Marcellus Shale gas formation is located in which of the following states? W. Pennsylvania, X. Texas. Y. Oklahoma. Z. Wyoming. Answer. W. Pennsylvania. Bonus 6. Energy multiple choice. Compounds of bismuth telluride are used in which of the following types of devices? W. Photovoltaic devices, X. Computer chips. Y. Energy control devices. Z. Thermoelectric devices. Answer. Z. Thermoelectric devices. Toss-up 7. Math. Short answer. Solve for x, the natural log of open parenthesis x plus 1 close parenthesis minus 1 equals 0. Answer, e minus 1. Bonus 7. Math. Short answer. Assuming y squared plus 3 times x squared times y equals 7 times x squared minus 5, implicitly defines y as a function of x, find dy over dx at the point 32. Answer, 6 over 31. Toss-up 8. Chemistry. Multiple choice. What are the products of the complete combustion of cyclohexane? W. Carbon monoxide, carbon trioxide, and water, X. Carbon dioxide in water. Y. Carbon monoxide in water. Z. A variety of small hydrocarbons. Answer, X. Carbon dioxide in water. Bonus 8. Chemistry. Multiple choice. Which of the following ionization techniques will produce the maximum amount of fragmentation? W. Chemical ionization X. Fast atom bombardment. Y. Plasma desorption. Z. Electron impact. Answer. Z. Electron impact. Toss-up 9. Physics. Short answer. What is the efficiency of a Carnot heat engine in which 500 joules of heat enters from the hot reservoir and 300 joules exits into the cold reservoir? Answer, 40%. Bonus 9. Physics. Short answer. A typical incandescent light bulb wastes 90% of its power as heat. Ignoring the contribution of the walls and any furniture, if you left a 100-watt incandescent bulb on in a 5 by 5 by 5 meter room for 100,000 seconds, how much would the temperature of the air in the room increase, in degrees Celsius? Assume, for simplicity, that the room is a closed thermodynamic system. The heat capacity of air is 1 joule per gram per degree, and the mass density of air in the room is 1.2 kilograms per cubic meter. Answer, 60. Toss-up 10. Earth and space. Short answer. Which class of supernova exhibits strong silicon lines but no hydrogen or helium lines? Answer. Type 1a. Bonus 10. Earth and space. Multiple choice. How does the sound fixing and ranging so far channel support our study of climate change? W. The deep SOFAR channel is populated with organisms extremely sensitive to ocean temperature change. X. World War II submarines gathered rich and extensive datasets about the SOFAR channel that can be compared with current data. Y. Video monitoring of marine mammal mating behavior is useful because mating behavior in this region is impacted by temperature. Z. Speed of sound is temperature dependent in the SOFAR channel. Answer. Z. Speed of sound is temperature dependent in the SOFAR channel. Toss-up 11. Biology. Multiple choice. Which of the following organisms stores major food reserves as laminin and oil instead of starch? W. Green algae. X. Brown algae. Y. Red algae. Z. Flowering plants. Answer, X. Brown algae. Bonus, 11. Biology. Multiple choice. Which of the following reactions is incorrectly matched to its enzyme? W. Kinase catalyzes the removal of a phosphate group from a molecule. X. Isomerase catalyzes the rearrangement of bonds within a single molecule. Y. Synthase condenses two smaller molecules together. Z. Protease breaks down proteins by hydrolyzing bonds between amino acids. Answer. W. Kinase catalyzes the removal of a phosphate group from a molecule. Toss-up, 12. Energy multiple choice. Which of the following explanations is used by scientists to justify the observed accelerating expansion of the universe? W. Dark matter, X. Fast-moving neutrinos. Y. Dark energy. Z. Supernovae. Answer. Y. Dark energy. Bonus, 12. Energy multiple choice. Power is being transmitted at 100,000 volts and the current flow is 20 amperes. What is the power loss in watts over 120 miles if the resistance of the power line is 0.5 ohms per mile? W. 6,000 x 6,667. Y. 12,000. Z. 24,000. Answer. Z. 24,000. Toss-up, 13. Math. Short answer. Given g of x equals the fraction with numerator 1 minus cosine of x and denominator x squared, find the limit as x approaches 0 of g of x. Answer, 1 over 2. Bonus, 13. Math. Short answer. A store has been buying a certain type of calculator at $25 and selling them at $40. At this price, they have been selling 50 calculators per month. The owner of the store wishes to increase the price of the calculator and estimates that for each $1 increase in price, 3 fewer calculators will be sold each month. Determine the price, to the nearest dollar, that maximizes profit. Answer, $41. Toss-up, 14. Chemistry. Multiple choice. Which of the following is considered a diatomic element? W. Sodium, X. Sulfur. Y. Iodine. Z. Tungsten. Answer. Y. Iodine. Bonus, 14. Chemistry. Multiple choice. Which of the following molecules does not have D3H symmetry? W. Phosphorus pentachloride, X. Cyclopropane. Y. Boric acid. Z. Bicycloctane. Answer. Y. Boric acid. Toss-up, 15. Physics. Multiple choice. A small rubber duck is held underwater at a depth of 10 meters, then released. When the duck reaches a depth of 5 meters, how much has the buoyant force on the duck changed? W. It has decreased by half, X. It is unchanged. Y. It has doubled. Z. It has quadrupled. Answer, X. It is unchanged. Bonus, 15. Physics. Short answer. Charged particles in a uniform magnetic field will undergo circular motion with a period of t equals 2 pi m over the quantity q times b. The magnetic field of the Earth is roughly 10 to the power of -4 Tesla, assuming it is uniform. Given the mass of a proton to be 1.6 times 10 to the power of -27 kilograms and its electric charge to be 1.6 times 10 to the power of -19 coulombs, providing your answer in scientific notation to one significant figure, what period in seconds would you measure for a proton? Answer: 6 times 10 to the power of -4. Toss-up. 16. Earth and space multiple choice. For the mass-radius relation of white dwarfs, m is proportional to or to what power? W, -1/3, x, 1/3. Y, 1. Z, 3. Answer: W, -1/3. Bonus. 16. Earth and space multiple choice. What is the primary mode of heat transport in a white dwarf? W. Convection, x. Conduction. Y. Radiation. Z. Advection. Answer: x. Conduction. Toss-up. 17. Biology. Multiple choice. Which of the following marine fish groups reproduces ovoviviparously? W. Coelacanth, x. Ratfish. Y. Ray. Z. Lamprey. Answer: W. Coelacanth. Bonus. 17. Biology. Short answer. What is the process in which a protein inhibits the function of a second protein by binding to the regulatory site of that second protein, thus altering its functionality? Answer: allosteric regulation. Toss-up. 18. Chemistry. Multiple choice. Dr. Eknieks, the evil genius, has released multiple dangerous weather balloons into the atmosphere, filled with his new concoction, boom gas. If the density of boom gas drops below 1/3 of its density at room temperature, it will explode with the force of 1/10 of an atomic bomb. Which of the following disposal methods would force the balloons to explode? W. Throwing weighted balloons into the sea, x. Releasing the balloons into space. Y. Cryogenically storing the balloons in liquid nitrogen. Z. Venting boom gas from the balloons. Answer: x. Releasing the balloons into space. Bonus. 18. Chemistry. Multiple choice. Consider the following reaction. 5H2O liquid plus S2O32- plus 4Cl2 aqueous yields 8Cl- aqueous plus 2SO42- aqueous plus 10H plus. What is the oxidizing agent in this reaction? W. Cl- X. S2O32-. Y. Cl2. Z. H2O. Answer. Y. Cl2. Toss-up 19. Math. Short answer. Given f of x equals the natural log of the square root of the quantity e to the x, find its first derivative with respect to x. Answer, 1 over 2. Bonus, 19. Math. Short answer. Providing your answer in slope-intercept form, what is the equation of the line tangent to the graph of y equals the fraction with numerator e to the power 2x and denominator x squared where x equals 1? Answer, y equals e squared. Toss-up 20. Energy multiple choice. How much energy is required to run a device with compressed air compared to running the same device with electricity? W. An equal amount, x. Twice as much. Y. 4 times as much. Z. 6 times as much. Answer. Y. 4 times as much. Bonus, 20. Energy multiple choice. Traditional solar cells have a maximum conversion efficiency of about 34% because many of the captured wavelengths result in the creation of heat, not electrons. Newly published research has shown that cell efficiencies can reach up to 44% by doing which of the following? W. Making them thinner, X. Capturing the blue wavelength. Y. Using gallium arsenide instead of silicon. Z. Using selenium in one of the layers. Answer, X. Capturing the blue wavelength. Toss-up 21. Physics. Short answer. What law describes the relationship between the direction of incident and refracted light rays? Answer. Snell's law. Bonus, 21. Physics. Short answer. A container contains 3 moles of helium. The volume remains constant after 2 moles of gas are added and the temperature is halved. Providing your answer as a fraction, what is the ratio of the initial gas pressure to the final gas pressure? Answer, 6 over 5. Toss-up 22. Earth and space multiple choice. According to the United Nations, what is the global warming potential of methane on a 100-year timescale? W. 1, X. 21. Y. 150. Z. 310. Answer, X. 21. Bonus, 22. Earth and space multiple choice. Which of the following pairs correctly matches the U.S. geographic location and its typical tidal pattern? W. West Coast, semi-diurnal, X. West Coast, diurnal. Y. Gulf of Mexico, diurnal. Z. East Coast, mixed semi-diurnal. Answer. Y. Gulf of Mexico, diurnal. Toss-up, 23. Biology. Multiple choice. In one form of the disease called macular degeneration, eyesight decreases due to overproduction of new blood vessels, angiogenesis, in the eye. Inhibition of a gene involved in angiogenesis can be achieved by introducing which of the following forms of complementary RNA molecule into the eye? W. siRNA, X. Messenger RNA. Y. lncRNA. Z. Transfer RNA. Answer. W. siRNA. Bonus, 23. Biology. Multiple choice. Enzyme A has a high K value and low V value relative to M max enzyme B. This means enzyme A relative to enzyme B has which of the following? W. Higher substrate affinity and a lower reaction rate, X. Lower substrate affinity and a higher reaction rate. Y. Higher substrate affinity and higher reaction rate. Z. Lower substrate affinity and lower reaction rate. Answer. Z. Lower substrate affinity and lower reaction rate. Toss-up, 24. Chemistry. Short answer. What is the oxidation number of tin in SN, S2? Answer, +4. Bonus, 24. Chemistry. Short answer. What term describes the general process by which a racemate is separated into its component enantiomers? Answer. Resolution. Toss-up, 25. Biology. Multiple choice. You suspect that Cylon, an alien, may be the parent of a human-alien hybrid baby. The alien's blood type happens to be homozygous for blood type P for purple, the allele of which is symbolized by IP. As with other blood types, the P protein is codominant. If the human parent's blood type is A with a homozygous genotype, what blood phenotype would the baby have to be in order to be a confirmed human-alien hybrid baby? W. O. X. A. P. Y. P. Z. A. Answer, X. A. P. Bonus, 25. Biology. Multiple choice. How do bacteria protect their own genomic DNA from being cut by their restriction endonucleases? W. Genomic DNA of a bacterial species does not contain the recognition sequences for its own restriction endonucleases, X. Bacteria apply protective methyl groups to DNA at sites recognized by their restriction endonucleases. Y. Bacteria have proteins associated with their genomic DNA, preventing the endonucleases from getting close enough to cut. Z. Sequestration of chromosomal DNA in the nucleoid region of a bacterial cell protects it from being cut by restriction endonucleases. Answer: X. Bacteria apply protective methyl groups to DNA at sites recognized by their restriction endonucleases.